Believe it or not, BeamNG has quite a few plane mods that you can install. I chose a couple for this video. One of the best mods is the B25 Mitchell. The plane has a pretty nicely modeled cockpit, but it is sadly not a live cockpit. My first attempt at taking off went, well, let's just say not so well. Maybe I should know how to operate the rudder before taking off. With this newfound knowledge, I successfully took off. The plane handles a little weird and doesn't feel the most realistic, but it is quite fun to fly. After that, I accidentally turned off the engines though, so I stalled into the water. Another fun feature about this airplane is that it has bombs that you can drop. So after bombing a small Italian village, I returned to the airport to try to land for the first time. Well, that was pretty successful, so now I have another chance to bomb another Italian village. Well, maybe if that didn't happen. Let's move on to the Avro Arrow. This plane also has a pretty nicely modeled cockpit, but is also not live. The plane is quite powerful and quite hard to control. Another reason these planes are hard to control is because I'm flying with keyboard. I think it is possible to hook up a joystick and modify the controls, but I'm just too lazy to do that right now. Wow, this thing is fast. Let's try to land this thing. Well, I didn't seem to like the idea to try again, so let's move on to the Spitfire. Now I remember what happened with this plane. Well, it's basically impossible to control. I don't know if I was doing something wrong, but I just could not control this aircraft. It would either tip over or start going in circles. That's quite unfortunate because I discovered that this plane has guns that you can fire, and it would make for a pretty good dogfight in multiplayer. Anyways, here's a demonstration of what the guns can do using a bus as the target. Oh yeah, and then this happened. How does that even work? Anyways, let's move on to the final plane for the video, the Cessna L19. This plane also has a modeled cockpit, but is also not live. This plane does feel pretty powerful for a Cessna, but this may be because it was for the military. It handles quite well and is very nimble, although it is quite difficult to fly with a keyboard. After this unsuccessful landing attempt, I decided to try out the float plane version. This one handled quite well, and was relatively easy to land, as you're not confined to a runway. In conclusion, you probably shouldn't get BeamNG if you want to use it as a flight sim, but if you also like cars and the physics of the game, downloading these mods is something fun to play with. Well, if you enjoyed the video, liking and subscribing would be greatly appreciated. Have a great day.